I'm Robert, this is Jacopo.
Hello.
And when did we last do this? Was it a year ago or 2 years ago? It was a year ago.
A year ago, exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
and then we started to exchange information about them.
Okay. So the question is, what are your favorite tarot packs that you've encountered in the last year?
Okay, so look, yesterday I was speaking about the fact that I'm having now like a 20-25 deck of tarot,
Oh, wow.
which start to be maybe also even a little bit more, too much.
Oh.
And this is, by the way, also the reason because I decided also to give them, to give them away. Yeah, you will be one of these. You will take advantage about it. But what is very strange is that as soon as I decided to give a deck of tarot, someone gifted me another one. So
that's right.
it's a circle. You're gonna go out and look. This is a tarot deck that I want to show you.
Tatto
Tarot. That I received from my boyfriend for Christmas. And they suddenly became like my favorite deck.
Yeah, they're very nice.
This is a Marseille style.
Okay.
And for instance, the first card was the Empress. So they are auf Deutsch.
Auf Deutsch.
Yeah,
good.
So we do also.
So we have tattoo style.
Yeah.
And all the people are a bit beautiful, aren't they? A bit. You could almost say a bit porn star.
Look, yeah, exactly.
They're just.
Especially, I mean, by my point of view, the guys, the men are very sexy. And as you said, maybe everybody's very young.
Very young. They're all young. The kings are slightly too young, I think.
Yeah, I see. I think,
why are they kings if they're 25? But I guess in the old days, you had kings who were 25, didn't you?
This is, again,
Is
Ritter.
that a knight? Okay.
I also don't understand why always in the tarot deck, the Queen of Sword. By my point of view, it's always a little bit too aggressive.
Well, she is traditionally a dangerous woman. And she's traditionally... I mean, she's got quite a lot of bad traditional meanings attached to her, the Queen of Swords.
I see.
You know?
But it's always like... I don't know.
I think it's fun to have one really bad, dangerous woman in the tarot.
The dark lady somehow of the tarot. I think maybe this one is not that.
That's a little bit
more.
A few more years on the clock for him.
Yeah. Otherwise, they are always. They're not deadly enough.
Insanely hot. That one's got really big.
Absolutely.
He's got big lips and a big beard and big blue eyes.
I think he's one of the most sexy.
King of he should be. He's the king of the king of battens, which is kind of like a bit phallic, isn't it? So
absolutely.
If he's not sexy, what are we going to do?
Exactly, we need him sexy.
If he's not sexy, we throw the pack away.
This is also wow.
Oh, wow.
The knight looks like this wrestler,
a Mexican wrestler.
A Mexican wrestler.
They are lovely, and if I used Marseille, I definitely would have bought this. I saw it in a bookshop. I could almost imagine having it and just using the major arcanas, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, the sad thing is that the court cards, you know, the kings and the knights are so gorgeous that I would be very sad if I had this deck and I didn't use them. So I'm a bit stuck.
Yeah, still.
Really.
Yeah, still. But you should still also use them.
Maybe I could use major arcanas and court cards.
Yeah, why not?
And aces.
Exactly.
That would be like half the pack, right?
This is a good idea.
That's really good.
Let's try it. A woman, she had, like us, a lot of decks, and she decided to create a special deck mixing.
Really?
Yes, like taking one from this, one from that, which sounds insane,
really
but maybe
insane.
It could be, I don't know.
Any others?
Yes, I have another one very interesting that I looked for a long time. So I have this like the pocket version.
Yeah. I like pocket versions. Increasingly, I use pocket versions.
Yes. I don't know why they give you.
Well, I think that the querent, the person who comes to you for the reading, needs the big cards, needs this big experience. But when you're a tarot reader and you're just reading a lot on your own and you're just working with cards, you don't need them to be big. And you can put 12 on the table and there's plenty of room. You know, you don't have to move into a bigger house.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not easy to let you understand, but also the kind of paper is very nice. It's very soft. So this is like called the Wild Unknown Tarot.
The Wild Unknown.
The Wild Unknown. And they are like animal spirits, no? So the concept is that like the animal spirits, and already the back is like the skin of a snake.
It's sort of like nature religion, isn't it? Like which is clearly makes you think of Native Americans, even though it isn't really just Native American stuff. But
yes,
it's that kind of direction, isn't it? You know,
absolutely. So you have animals everywhere. For instance, like the king and the queen, they are called father and mother, and they are represented as animals. In this case, all the wands are snakes. Yeah. And then look, this beautiful five of cups.
Miserable like horse. He's an upset horse.
This horse, remember me, the never-ending story. Oh, yes, thank you. In the never-ending story, there is at some point a situation where like this is like metaphor of depression, and there is a horse that lost his own happiness and slowly fall down actually.
So you must have been about 3 years old.
No, I was older. I was like maybe 10, 11. Okay. So this horse remember me about this the one of the never-ending story.
That's nice. There's a tree here, six of cups, and I guess the meanings are a bit Rider-Waite-Smith meanings, aren't they? But I mean, you know, tarot meanings are always, or they're all interconnected anyway, aren't they? It's a big tradition. But this is like, it seems to be that, you know, the Six of Cups, maybe the fruits coming from the past, and the tree has its roots here, so it's been working to grow the roots, and now it can support itself and all this stuff.
Exactly. I really think it's a mix between Marseille and Rider-Waite. Yes. If you want to just have like shortly another one.
I'm interested in that one because someone recommended it to me. I looked at it online and I thought, not sure about that one, but I'd like to see it.
Yeah, exactly. And my last idea about it's exactly as well. So he's a very famous illustrator. I don't know how to pronounce. Ferenc Pinter. Budapest. He's born in Budapest, so Hungarian, and he used to be a very famous, illustrator, and the cards are taken from his illustrations.
Oh, so they're not tarot. They're not designed as tarot cards.
Exactly, and that's the point. This is something that maybe at the end of the day they are very, very, very beautiful. I'm not sure. So this is for the moon.
And we call that mooning in England. Showing your ass is called mooning.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
That's the moon, everybody. I was looking at a very, very kitschy deck. It's called the Röhrig deck. It's an old German deck from the 80s. And there's the Ass der Kelche, which is the Ace of Cups. But the German word for ace is ass. Yes. And there was a picture of a woman showing her ass. I don't know whether it was deliberate. Maybe Röhrig was bilingual and he thought that was a really funny joke. Yeah. Or maybe it was just like the cosmos playing a joke.
The cosmos playing a joke, yeah. Here there are many asses, by the way. We have like a king of buttons who looks like John Lennon. In a bad day.
It's nice, you know, it's really nice. But can I be really hard about it? For me, I think the reason why I was suspicious of it was that there's not enough traditional tarot symbolism in the cards. It's a bit, that's the Queen of Battens, I guess. So, but I mean, there is a whole tradition of how the Queen of Battens was depicted, and there's, that helps you to read, right? Those traditional things.
Yeah, my idea is as well that they just needed somehow a woman, and then they put it here as a Queen of Baton. So there is any other.
I didn't want to say, but I agree. I think that is what happened in that deck. But I mean, it's good to experiment, isn't it, with different kinds of decks and see what happens. So this is like
I don't know.
Ten of Swords, which is incredibly violent and nasty. But I mean, if that's what you want. But I can't imagine, you invite some sweet, vulnerable person around for a tarot reading and say, sit down, dear, have a cup of tea. I'm going to read your tarot for you. And that comes up.
Oh, God.
It would ruin that person's... Anyway,
yeah.
It's quite extreme, that one.
Absolutely. And look, the Four of Swords.
Okay.
It's even more terrible.
That person is having a rest. Yeah.
Having a rest, but slash... died in an ice
died
lake.
Horribly. I'm just totally old-fashioned, and so I've been having like a vintage year, and well, not only, but my big triumphs were, look, I got a copy of the Morgan Greer, and this is a deck from, I think, 1970 or something, or 73, 4, something like that. Anyway, we all love the Morgan Greer. It's the one where all the men have moustaches. Well, not all of them, but it's just gorgeous 70s madness. Sorry to turn this into a show about men's moustaches, but anyway, I like the Morgan Greer very much, and my point is that I got this. That there is it's reprinted, the Morgan Greer. You can get it. You can get a modern version for €25 or something. And there is a full-size modern version for €25 from US Game Systems that I don't think is particularly good. I think I gave it to you.
Yes, which I like it.
Okay,
which I loved.
I don't think it's a perfect reprint, but anyway, I got this online from a toy shop in, I think, Cologne, through eBay for about €65. And this is an artifact from the 70s.
Yes.
And it's out of print. And I suppose it just shows that if you're into something, you're very easily pleased, because I'm super excited. I can hardly believe it when the reprint is $25 and the original is $65, and we're talking about the 70s. I think that's great.
Absolutely.
And I adore it. I haven't cleansed this yet, so I haven't used it. But I'm actually working with the pocket-sized reprint, which is really good. The reprint is actually a bit brighter than the one I gave to you. They've slightly turned up the brightness, and I'm now getting really slowly into this Morgan Greer. When I first saw it, when I first encountered it, I found it a bit vulgar, but I just think it's so stylish and so gentle,
And so, as you said, you gifted them to me, and at the very beginning, I didn't really understood them, but then I used them, and I found that they are very, 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 very powerful and answering you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So sorry to say, but it is the opposite effect that the Pinter, the Ferenc Pinter.
Yeah.
They are beautiful. They are very art, but they don't give me any kind of feeling.
Well, they're not doing the job, are they?
Exactly.
Whereas these ones, you can argue with the style, but they're a traditional tarot pack. It's really, except for one card, it's really accurate of Rider-Waite Smith, and it's not just Rider-Waite Smith. This version of the Wheel of Fortune. That's a traditional image of people on the wheel falling off the wheel. Yeah. I actually think that's kind of a kitschy image, but it is traditional, and it contains tarot thinking, you know. That's a really Marseille image, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
With the hand turning the wheel.
Yeah.
And the people falling off.
Yeah, in Marseille they are more like monsters, but there is like here there is still the concept of the like king, so people having a lot of fame and money in the world. They have the same.
Everyone's the same.
Everyone is the same.
But it's really, I think this is a really well researched deck, the Morgan Greer.
Yeah, and really I think it's a good also message about the fact that the tarot doesn't have to be stylish, but has to be powerful. And by the way, can I show I really, really, really love the back.
It's
personally
really relaxed, isn't it?
It's relaxed. It gives me like Matisse somehow. It's so, again, I don't know, basic.
For me, it's like a kid's birthday party.
Also.
It's like a packet of balloons.
Exactly.
But I was looking for a light tarot pack, one that wouldn't bring me down, you know, and so one that in a sense would cheer me up, which would lighten the whole process. And I was looking for jokey tarots, and jokey tarots don't work for me because everything becomes a joke. But at least the thing about this is it is a little bit light. It just reminds me of my youth,
which is amazing.
Which is nice.
Which is nice.
And it's very pretty. You know, it's very aesthetic, and the Rider-Waite Smith has got a lot of sort of lemony yellow in it, but this one is more kind of like a rich sunflower yellow, and it's got quite a lot of amber in it as well. So the whole deck is quite. It's like a tin of cookies or something. It's quite nice. Don't want to talk about that forever. And the other one, the vintage one I got, it's semi-vintage. Look, this is the Alabano Waite recolouring of the tarot from 1969. It comes here with a book. If you wanted an actual Alabano Waite from 1969, it will probably be $400 or something. They're very rare now. Wow. But this one from the 90s, this is German. It's slightly nicer than the one from the 2000s. I mean, I've done quite a lot of research, and let's see.
It's interesting again the back.
It's printed in Germany by Mervig. I like to believe it's not quite the same printing as the current US game systems, because I find it's slightly brighter.
Yeah, it doesn't look like actually.
I mean, I think that the problem with the Alabano Waite is, I mean, I think the original guy, I think his colouring was a bit muddy anyway in the 60s. It's not the most professional job, but it's charming because it's so crazy, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I got this and I'm quite pleased. It's an eBay triumph.
This deck and the way it's like colored reminds me the famous and also hated Marseille from Grimaud, which by the way I got from you.
The one that was like
it was like
in a pool of beer.
Exactly.
Like.
And I really love this deck personally because it's like it has a story.
That's the one from the...
Yeah, that's the one. And look, a lot of cards are like damaged, but I love it exactly for this.
And did you manage to completely separate all the cards?
Yes, I did a big book. Also, even the back, I copied it and pasted it.
That's amazing. We have to explain to the viewers. Viewers, this deck was given to me in a flea market by a seller who was very embarrassed because it had been like at a party or something, and the cards were like fused into one sort of sugary, sticky block.
Exactly.
I think it had been in a pool of beer, and I gave up on it. And Jacopo managed to separate them and restore them. I'm amazed.
And I love this process because made the deck being mine somehow.
Totally you did.
So here the colors are so somehow so wrong, so basics. You just have like 4 colors or 5.
Yeah.
For instance, when you see like the Jodorowsky deck, it's full of colors. You have and so this is the reason because it's generally like hated from the Marseille tarot reader, but this is also exactly the reason because I love it, because it's so simple and basic and like how can I say direct.
It's graphically simple, isn't it?
Yes, which I like it.
You know, I find that I can't read with black and white decks because that's not enough graphic information for me.
Right.
My brain goes to sleep. But I can imagine if there was 3 colors, I would be okay.
Yes, because I think that too many information are not the best.
You don't want too much. You don't want too little. You want something in between. Yeah,
absolutely.
The viewers don't want to know about all our decks, do they?
No, exactly.
I don't think so.